Che comunque il calcio è imprevedibile e le cose non sono mai scontate, quindi è anche la bellezza, no, di questo sport.
Io rappresentavo per questa squadra, era quello che non mollava mai, quello che doveva fare stare sempre su il morale, ma io mi ci trovavo bene perché sono sempre stato uno che mi piaceva dare fuoco ai miei compagni, caricarli prima delle partite.
Il mio sogno che si è avverato è uno dei sogni dei bambini, di tanti bambini.
È un qualcosa per la gente che riusciamo a fare diventare matti, riusciamo a fare diventare felici e contenti.
Con questa maglia devo veramente fare una performance diversa perché sto rappresentando.
Hello, Milanisti all over the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, not good night yet. Please don't sleep because, we're back. The gang is back. We've been on a bit of a hiatus for a while, but all happy to be here. And we've got a great show, a lot of content, and good topics to cover. And a big shout out to all those who've been loyal to to our channel. I don't say that enough, definitely. And as always, best host any channel could ever hope for. We got Shane in the house and Lab Gorilla.
Ciao a tutti. Shane, come stai?
Good. We decided to do this about 15 minutes ago, so God help you if you complain about the quality. But no, it's been an interesting couple of days, guys. So if you're wondering why the image quality on my side is purposely more poor than usual, it's because I got ridiculously badly sunburnt on Saturday, and I'm trying to hide my shame. So yeah, this is why I'm using a drunk camera. So anyway.
Hey, ciao Kim. Good on you, man. Staying up till midnight to watch us. You're the man. Hope you're well, dude.
All right, guys. Thanks, Kim, for joining us. And once again, please like and subscribe. And we'll be your host for the next foreseeable future, this evening especially. So, Lab Gorilla, what do you have in the Milan box for us to begin with?
Today we're going to be doing something that we're going to call a bar chat. An ode to someone else's podcasts. Oh, look at Shane. He's going, no, John, don't go there. Don't go there. Let's do our bar chat. All right. First question I've got for you guys. First topic. The formation change and the subsequent results. What do you think about the fact that after switching to 3-4-3, it is unquestionable. It is unquestionable that we have conceded fewer goals. We have won more games. And we are still in 8th place. That's unquestionable. So let's start with you, Hasni. What do you think of the formation change, the timing of that formation change, and the results that have come thereafter?
I've said it a few weeks ago that I'm not too impressed by the formation change. It's something that we've tried before. Granted, that time we had different players. But I do feel that in terms of the spirit of the team, it does seem to look somewhat uplifted. Something that we didn't expect. Personally, if you had asked me like midway through the season and when we were really going through that glut, we might have just given up completely and lost all those games. But I'm happy that we won because a win is always a better feeling than to lose the game and drop further down the table. But whether it's enough, and you've said it, John, is that whether it's enough for where we are, definitely the answer is definitely no. Yeah, we're nowhere near where we should be, and we'll cover it later in this part. Is that how does the table look like? Because right now we've turned from really fans and football commentators, if you can call us that, into mathematicians because everyone's trying to calculate the points on the table. It's ridiculous. Yeah, had we won those games, we wouldn't even need to talk about this. But we are where we are, and life goes on. What you, Shane? How do you feel?
Formation change or no? I mean, I'll give Conceição some credit for, I guess discovering what works. I think a valid argument for me though is that it doesn't matter what formation you put these players out at. I think you could have forecast this probably 2 months ago, that when there was nothing else really important to play for, that they come out and start winning games. Because I think the problem is literally just squared on the players. The players don't have balls. That's literally the problem. So when there's nothing to play for in the league, this team can come out and get results. But the thing is that over a 38 game season, you know, how often is this going to happen, especially when you have a competitive club like Milan? I don't think this is part of it is down to the successful formation change. And again, I have to give Conceição credit here, right? It seems to be, working. But how much of this could you also just put on, players with no balls that have just kind of finally decided to show up when there's nothing left to play for in the league? That's kind of my feeling on it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you guys. I think we were going to do a podcast, and I was going to actually record something. It's just work has been so busy, guys. Life sometimes gets in the way, but I was going to call the podcast "Too Little, Too Late." That's basically what it was going to be, because clearly the formation change has helped. Is it a surprise that when you've got three central defenders on the pitch, and then when teams are attacking you, everyone can flood back and basically stand in front of the goal? Is it a surprise that you're conceding fewer goals? No, it isn't. But what help has it done for us? Well, I guess you could say it's helped us get to the final of the Coppa d'Italia, which is something we can talk about. It's helped us to play, in halves when we routinely and traditionally don't play at all, like the first half against Bologna in the league game. We still didn't concede a goal. We didn't concede many chances, many opportunities. But it still happens, when a team does score a goal against us, we go into full panic mode. You've got 5 subs, and it basically floods the pitch with players he wanted to rest. And yeah, good on them. They turn it around, but for what? We've gone from 9th place to 8th place. Fiorentina's playing today. If anybody still wants to dream about the Champions League, mathematically, it is possible. I know that. It would have needed a clear winner between Juventus and Lazio to really close the door, but they haven't done so. Okay, so that's the first thing. The formation I wasn't that enamored with. But remember, guys, we did have a pod where we discussed the different formations. No one said we wanted to keep playing a 4-2-3-1. Every single person said, try something different. How is it that, as you said, Husney, people that are we're just commentators, we're just fans, true fans, I should say. How is it that we are saying things like this and the club is not acting? A person who's paid €1 million, till the end of the season to get it done, doesn't act until it's too late. Very strange. Shane, to
The
your
thing
point.
is, though,
Yeah.
I think according to reports, Conceição has kind of said that he was prepping this in training since March.
Sorry,
But
that was hilarious.
yeah, no, because he was training this formation since March. But the thing is the players just weren't capable or weren't ready to go and actually practice it. See,
I think
so
he wasn't ready.
it just shows
The
you how
players.
destructive it is, though. Because I mean, let's just say, right? It's kind of shit that we have to do this, but listen, we're balls deep in copium at this point, right? But imagine, let's say if Conceição had 2 months in the summer to be able to do this. I mean, I don't think now we're not going to be winning the league, but there's no fucking way we're going to be in 9th place. Do you know what I mean?
But Shane, if you talk about the timeline, Conceição could have had from the beginning of the season, also preseason. He was one of the names that was mentioned from the get go. But still, Ibra, those guys, those clowns, in infinite wisdom, decided to go for someone else. And for the life of me, I don't understand it. But
that's what we do now, Husney, man. We're a mediocrity, dude. See, the thing is Look, we're going to discuss some of these points later about some of Furlani's bullshit fucking comments, right? But when you basically have a guy gearing up that's, I mean, he's essentially saying that there's no rush for a sporting director, and you know, it's kind of, you know, I think indirectly what he's saying is because, you know, you can trust me to run the club, and it's like, where are you going to run the club? Into the fucking ground? You know what I mean?
Yeah, on that point, and I want to pose this to you guys. Yeah, so when we weren't doing great, you know, there was a lot more talk about sporting directors, about more changes. When we seem to string together a few wins, all that talk seems to disappear or take a back seat. And we spoke about this several times. Is that, you know, if we want things to change, you know, if you want big changes, unfortunately, we probably have to perform worse to force those changes to happen. I am concerned that all this just papers over the cracks. Yeah, we know we win a few games, we're in the final, and it doesn't really change the fact that if we do go through a another bad run of games, it's cyclical. Yeah, we talk about this change, that change, or win a few more games. Okay,
Yeah,
forget about it, and
absolutely.
we're back there.
Yeah, yeah. We're in, what is it now? 4 straight wins, and so a lot of things have calmed down for a few fans, which I think is hilarious. You know, you're just I don't know, what are you, a fish? Have you got the memory of a fish? Is that what it works? It's like, ooh, what happened yesterday? We're ninth. No, no, no. We're in the Coppa d'Italia final, which means we're great. I mean, I'm going to say this. Forlani, some of the stuff he said was legendary. He said, if we win the Coppa d'Italia, the last time Milan had won 2 trophies, the last coach that did it was Ancelotti. Like, what are you trying to say, mate? It's scary that this is where it's gotten to. It's really scary. But right, since we're here, since we're talking about it, like, first of all, thanks everyone for joining us. We've got so many people. You've got Kim, Vasil, Carlo, Ray as well. Yeah, I mean, Ray, we're gonna get to your point right now, and I'm gonna do a little bit of the usual. Hey, Nico, what's up, bro? So we're gonna do a bit of. You'll hear the words from the man himself,
I
Giorgio
think, John,
Forlani.
for
Yeah,
those who are on, and, you know, thanks to everyone else for joining us. It shows that Milanisti aren't really morning people, and I know that when we usually stream, it's about
yeah.
morning Europe time, man.
I mean,
So
I
thanks
don't know.
everyone again for joining us.
Everyone likes an afternoon siesta. I think that's what it is. Right. So, Giorgio Forlani, I'm going to read it to you in Italian first and translate. All right. L'ultima volta che mi è stata fatta la domanda sul DS, ho risposto che lo stavamo cercando e che il tema non era l'urgenza, ma trovare la persona giusta. So, the last time you asked me the question on the DS, I answered you that we were looking for one, but the theme was not urgency, but to find the right person. Part 1, ok? Oggi rispondo allo stesso modo. Today I'm going to tell you the exact same thing. Senza urgenza e non prima della fine della stagione. Without urgency and not before the end of the season. Ok? Se inseriremo una nuova figura, sarà la persona giusta. So if we're going to insert someone, it will be the right person. Then here comes the one that's made him look like an absolute baboon. And I can say that as a gorilla. He says, se stiamo già lavorando sul mercato, anche senza il DS? Assolutamente. Il mercato inizia parecchi mesi prima. Ci stiamo lavorando da parecchio. Il mercato lo fa la società. Non siamo fermi. This says, are we working on the player market even without a DS? Absolutely we are. The market begins months before. We are working really hard. The market is done by the society, by the club. We're not standing still. And even the reporter said he's made a comment that makes him look like a baboon. And I mean, what else can you say? Hasni, you've heard that from the man's mouth in Italian, right? What have you got to say about those comments?
Yeah, I think he's, because of all the wins, he's probably got a lot more confidence and a bit of swagger behind him to start running his mouth again. He wouldn't be talking like this, by the way, if we had lost maybe a little bit 2 more games and definitely mathematically be out of it. So yeah, I just can't believe it. All the words that he's saying, and he's living in his own world. Yeah, maybe that's a better way to put it. This guy, he lives in his own world. He sees things for the way he wants to see them, and everything that can justify him to keep a job and to tell Jerry Cardinale that yeah, everything's under control, which is not.
Shane?
So I questions like something with Ray there, right? Because Ray just wrote something very interesting. I said this, right? So, but I just want to confirm because if it's true, it's hilarious. So Ray's put in the chat, right? Inter's in the Champions League final and won the Scudetto while making record-breaking revenues, but they're going bankrupt. So if Cardinale said that, I remember Cardinale pointing to the fact that they were going bankrupt. But if he's come out and said this, right, that is such a balls deep level of copium. That is unfathomable. And just a quick point as well, that's really fucking annoying me here because I've seen a couple of people doing this. So Vasil has mentioned a good point. He's like, there's some Milan fans that are actively coming out and supporting Inter right now. So the thing is as bad as we will ever get, right? I could never in my heart of hearts, right, ever come out and support Inter. Unless it was a situation where it directly benefited us. Like as in, they were going to win some Mickey Mouse trophy and it meant we were going to qualify for, something because if they won it, purely self, but like I can't. There's some, you can't. It's like, there's levels of self-destruction. You know what I mean? And it's kind of supporting Inter is just at that level of self-destruction where you can't. You can. It's kind
weird,
of
isn't it?
rule one. It is. You can't do that. You can't.
I still agree with you, Shane. And I would support Inter in the cases that if they wanted to go on a gambling spree, if they wanted to buy off every single ref in the league, I would support them wholeheartedly because that probably gets them banned. So that takes them out of the game for the next foreseeable future. But no, I just can't. We did it on our own merit before, and that's how we've got to do it ourselves. Us, not anyone else. It has to be us. And I want to mention, sorry, John. I just need to shout out. I don't think we've ever had a Juventini on our channel before, so welcome, Fede Chiesa.
Well, Federico
Welcome, dude.
Chiesa, ascoltami. Vieni a giocare per noi. Lascia il Liverpool, vieni con noi. I'm just saying, Chiesa, leave Liverpool and come to us right now. Just come to us.
Fair.
Ridiculous. He's played like 4 games the whole season or something. Ridiculous. Right. So next we get to the next point, which is because Furlani continued. This is the funny thing. He just kept going, and then he goes: in passato ho detto che stiamo valutando se prendere un direttore sportivo e se lo prendiamo deve essere qualcuno che aggiunga valore e ci aiuti a fare meglio e crescere sportivamente. So in the past, I have said that we're evaluating if we have to get a sporting director. And if we get someone, it has to be someone that adds value and helps us to grow in a sporting manner. Yeah? Sicuramente non è il focus adesso. He said, surely this is not our focus right now. Did you hear that? Growing in a sporting manner is not our focus right now. Il focus è su chiedere bene la stagione e poi vedremo. So he says the focus is in closing the season well, and then we will see. To your point earlier, guys, what does it matter what happens from now until the end of the season? There are 2 games left. We are on 60 points, and we're in the final of the Coppa d'Italia. The best place we can end up is the Europa League. What are you saying? The best you can do is 7 straight wins. Yeah? If you beat Roma, if you beat Bologna, 7 straight wins is the best you can do. What does that mean? It means that you suddenly have a project that's working. And for him to say, you don't need a sporting director because clearly our team is doing well, our club is doing well, am I blind? Am I seeing a different game? I don't know, man. All right. Right. You carry on. What do you think, Hasni, on the fact that he's saying if we need a sporting director?
Yeah, they're undecided, but what that tells me, and this is just my speculation again, they've met with sporting directors, yeah, so that's been widely reported. They've met with some of these guys. I don't think they liked what any of these guys are telling them. Maybe some of them were very direct to the face, saying that you guys fucked up, you know. Sorry, I don't know where it'll affect our algorithm if I swear, but fine then. I take that back. You guys
I
messed up.
fucking hope not.
So that's probably what they all told them. It's like, okay, you guys are incompetent. I could probably do a better job. And Firulani probably didn't like that kind of thought, because that must mean that, oh, this guy can come in and actually threaten my job. So there we go. Yeah, if you can't choose the right candidate, might as well not have any candidate by just not opening up that job. This is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Shane, what do you think about this if? And he's saying, I continue to say, if we're going to get one, I'm not going to mention names and I'm not going to demonstrate an identity of the kind of person we're looking for. It's all about if we get one at all.
Yeah, because we both know the type of profile he's looking for, right? He doesn't want someone that's going to be good in the role. He wants someone that'll just bow down and basically say, if you find a good player, if Redbird agrees that it's a good player and it's within a price range, and if our actual owners, fucking Elliott management, decide that it's in a good price range, then you can go for it. The thing is if we're being linked with Iglitari, right, and if Iglitari is the guy we're going to get, that just shows you that we can't find anyone serious. I'm sorry, but like Iglitari is not at the level we should be looking at. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We could destroy Atalanta in one foul swoop by taking their guy, which D'Amico or something, I can never remember his name.
That's
We
right.
could steal him, right? Steal Gasparini, right? Destroy them in a fucking season. We're crippling a rival, right? And we're making ourselves hugely stronger. Do you know what I mean? If
Yeah.
he's saying that if we can find the right profile, the thing is he's not looking at the profile and the sporting level. He's looking at the profile and is this someone that we can control?
Correct. I agree. There's no
So
way he's looking at a sporting level.
no.
He says the words, it has to be someone that improves the club's sport in a sporting manner. But right now, clearly the team doesn't need that. What are we watching?
Yeah, Fede Kaiser, just to go back to your point. So I think what Vasil was saying earlier about these Inter fans that are going to be cheering, or sorry, there's Milan fans that are cheering on Inter in the final. It's not as much they're doing it because it's a team in Milan. I think the reason why they're cheering them on is because they basically want Inter to win a Scudetto without this, Moneyball bullshit, because it's a proper sporting project, so that it can kind of purposely show just how badly we are, how badly we're doing. So it's not that people are suddenly jumping, because yourself, you wouldn't see that. You wouldn't see it with Juve Torino, right? It's more just that it's kind of, I think people just want to see the whole thing crash and burn. But my argument is sometimes, no matter how bad things get, unless it directly makes things better for your club, you can't. Like, there's no fucking way I could cheer on Inter. Because if it was the other way around, do you think they'd be doing it for us? Not a fucking chance.
No. But I think the saddest part of it is, obviously there are. I don't have any Inter fans in my environment, so I'm very lucky. I even where I grew up in Italy, it was Juventini. There was no Inter fans in the region I was, so I didn't have any of that real problem in terms of people rubbing it in my face all the time saying we're better than you. Obviously, I hated Inter, but I hated Juventus even more. I would never support Inter for anything, but I will say, and I will give credit. So, in fact, that's a great segue. Let's talk about Inter a little bit, guys, because it's worth doing. It's worth doing. So, I think it was Ray earlier, and I think he was commenting on the fact that yes, Cardinale said, look at Inter Milan. They won the league and then they went bankrupt. Surely we don't want to do that. Inter Milan, yes, they lost their is it, I can't remember, was it Sunning? I can't remember who it was that was
Sunning,
owning.
yeah.
Yeah, sitting. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Sunning, so the guy was very passionate about Inter. He was a very passionate president. He then left. Oak Tree came along and said, you know, Marotta knows his stuff. We're going to let him be the president and let these guys carry on running the club. Lo and behold, they are 1 point behind first place in the league, and they now are in the Champions League final. Obviously, in the press,
Whereas Cardinale came in, said, right,
yeah,
I can see a club that's won a fucking Scudetto, a year ago, right? Let me rip out a club legend, right? Because that'll make sense. Oh, and by the way, guys, this is what real success is. Real success is won on the game of Excel spreadsheets. It's not won on the pitch. Oh, and by the way, right, you fucking plebs, go off and buy this fucking poxy fourth fucking kit. Fill my fucking bags. That you see
There
the
you go.
differences there, though.
There you go. So then people that want to talk about revenue suddenly are now going, oh shit, Inter are making 130 million minimum out of the Champions League. Milan has made something like 60 million from their 10 games in the Champions League. We discussed it before when we saw the league table show up. We said it would be ideal for the presidents of this club and the people running this club for Milan to play 10 fixtures, to go into that playoff stage and then have those 10 fixtures because the revenues are still quite nice. We never for 1 second thought that we were going to lose to Zagreb and Feyenoord. We did not think that was going to happen, but it did happen. Okay, so you want to talk about revenues? The discussion now in a lot of Italian media is that they think that this year Inter might be able to post positive numbers for the first time. Okay? So, because the World Club Cup coming up as well. Remember, who's not in the World Club Cup, guys? Because we kept Pioli running along for way too long. Who took our place in the World Club Cup? Juventus, if I remember correctly. They're going to be sitting there making 50 million. So Inter are probably looking at 180 to 200 million in sporting revenues. We, by winning the Coppa d'Italia, are looking to make 3 million euros.
Yeah, John, just to add on to that, and I know a lot of fans have already tracked this, is that there's that direct revenue from being part of the competition, but there's also all that other revenue, the sponsorship, the bonuses from reaching their stages. I think all that has to be looked into as well. So what my personal expectation is that they're probably going to make a lot more than just that revenue that's being floated around.
Yeah. So, the next question.
They'll also
This is
gain
a great
France
one.
as well.
They'll gain. I mean, Shane. Ha 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 ha. There's the
Gee.
other point here. The growing fan base. The growing fan base that comes with sporting success.
You'll
Mention
actually
this.
gladly go and buy their fucking, bullshit
Yes.
merch drive. You see, this is the thing, right? So it's like this. At a certain point, though, I think, I must have been a cunt in a past life. Do you know what I
Wow.
mean? Because I think what's happened is essentially I've been reincarnated or something, right? And it's just, for some reason I've been subject to the misery that's been supporting this club for the last, what's it been? Let's say I don't know, 13 years. And it
Maybe in a
doesn't seem
past
to
life
be.
you were an Interista.
I could have been, right? But you know what I mean, dude? It's like, it's fucking tragic. And the thing is, there's no sign of it going anywhere. Because
Yeah.
you see, here's what the really fucking annoying thing is about it. And I'm sorry for the expletive language, but it's very hard for me to get the feelings out otherwise. But what really fucking annoys me here is I'm still hearing other podcasts, and I won't mention their names, say that we still need to back the management, right? And the only thing that I can come back to in my head, right, is if they were not from your country, you would want them fucked out the door yesterday. You're literally acting on internal bias. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, this is a huge discussion point though, guys, and I don't know how to put this. I was listening to some Italian podcasters that have far more, weight than any of us will with any fan base. But I'll say this: a nice description was, if I gave you a piece of shit and it was put inside a nice box with red and black stripes, would you love it? You wouldn't, would you? I thought that was such a fantastic description of what the current club is. That's literally what they said. It's a shiny turd that has no reflection to the current to the fan base that we want to be.
Yeah, I think it's an English expression, right? You can't polish a turd.
There is an English expression, but this is: can you box a turd, put in a nice, pretty a box with red and black stripes, and say to people, "Go on, this is you," and people are going, "Yes, it's me because of the colours."
Well, yeah,
And,
well,
and
yeah.
I,
What is every fourth jersey? That is literally what they're doing. It's like every merch drive. What was the bullshit New York Yankees collab, dude? That's literally all it was. There's nothing. There's nothing. There's nothing about the history of the club behind what's going on. It's literally just to make them money. And you know what the worst thing is, dude? They're saying now that there's going to be, compared to last season, there's going to be a negative. It's going to be minus 27 million, give or take, if we win the Copa. Right. So any fan, right, that like has a fucking like a brain and some bit of fucking common sense, right? You would kind of hope, right? You would say, oh, okay, maybe this will force them to, actually do something properly with a sporting director, right? This fucking club, though, instead of actually coming out and saying, oh, part of the issue is we're running this, like a real estate fucking project and not a football club, right? So maybe we need to get a sporting director. You would actually think that they go out and get one. But then Forlani coming out and saying, no, we probably, we're going to wait and see if we qualify. So what? So we can maintain this misery for the next fucking couple of years until we hopefully qualify for the Champions League. And then our gift will be something that should be the minimum in any fucking professional football club. Awful. Awful.
Yeah, I have a problem with this. Obviously, you guys know I have a problem with, first of all, people saying get behind this or F off. I've over the last week, that's been said. Both of you know it's been said. That's not how it works. First of all, the only people that actually understand Milan are traditionalist fans. You remember a while ago we did a pod, I think over a year ago, we did a pod where we divided fans between traditionalists and the modern fans. And there's clearly a split between the two. And it was today an interview came out. Andrea Longoni did an interview with Boban, Zvonimir Boban. And it was really good. So I'm hoping soon they'll have the English translation come out, right? But Boban is basically saying you're getting rid of the people that actually understand the club, its history, and what it has to be, and what it should be, and what it has to get back to. You're getting rid of them. You're keeping people that you can then control, and you can then get people that will follow your messaging. I think that's the big problem. And I've now realized it doesn't matter what we say on this pod to each other. We all understand it, and we're not going to get through to those people. They are just going to keep calling us and others fake for being angry, for being annoyed, for talking about the club. The reason we're talking about the club like this is because we understand what this club should be and should look like and how it should behave. And it's in no way representative of that. So Boban said something like, you can split, Milan should focus on three things. One is ambition, the driver, ambition. One, Italian core, right? One is Italian core. And I can't remember what the third one was. It might have been something like, success or something like that. But you look at that Milan today and tell me that any of those things are there. I mean, honestly, tell me that any of those things are there. Is there an Italian core? Does the club show ambition? Does the club want to be successful? Hasn't he? You tell me. Is it? Does it?
Yeah, I agree with you, John, but it's also more than that. Is that I think those who are working against the club from inside the club, they go the extra mile to censor the voices that have their opinions, and sadly, this is also something that happens between fans as well. So if you are a, like you mentioned, traditionalist, you were there from er, I wouldn't say from the beginning because I'm not that old, but back when we were very much a respectable club, and we're trying to get back to that stage. Just because I want us to be back there when we were the biggest club in Europe, I shouldn't be censored to say that, oh, that's not the club anymore, so we'll talk about what it is now. We still have our ambitions, and I don't see why the ambitions would be dropped at the first sign of trouble. But this is the ownership that we have. Yeah, you're right. You mentioned the balance sheets takes precedence over how we feel and what the club direction is.
Yeah. Shane?
Yeah. So again, these are just words. There's nothing, you know. It's like it's like a cheerleader. But the thing is there's no actions that are going on with any of this bullshit. That's kind of saying that that's what they're trying to do. Like it's at a point where you have a guy that cannot be a fool in any shape or form. You would think Cardinale, right? Because at some point, he's had a career and he's got to that career from a good education, and then there's all the steps, right, that it takes to get to that, right? But the thing is if you're 3 years behind the fan base,
Mm.
right? And if you're it doesn't matter where you live, right? At a certain point, you can live in Timbuktu, but the thing is if you're purposely going in and making such destructive changes, hoping that things work out, and then you're just correcting yourself to do the right thing, it just shows that you don't really have a clue what you're doing, and you're just kind of throwing shit at the wall and hoping some of this sticks.
Well, yeah.
There's,
On the sporting side, it's definitely that's what's happening. Yeah.
and just a last point on it though as well, man.
Come
And I can't shout this enough, right? You know, like Pioli was dying a death for a while in terms of
Mhm.
being a coach, and he was kept on. And he was kept on by Maldini too, but he was kept on, right?
Mhm.
And then we took, our answer was Fonseca. Like these moves that we're making, by the way, they're not, these are not gearing anyone up for sporting success whatsoever. Like
Mm.
it, we might as well just buckle in, because honestly, like I might have said jokingly on the podcast, right? Like maybe a year ago, I remember saying it's like, oh, we're literally just the Arsenal of the Serie A now, which is like we'll never win anything, right? But the
Mm.
thing is with the trajectory that we're going, fuck Arsenal. If we could even be Arsenal at this point, I'd be somewhat more happier than, because I literally see us going the same trajectory as Man United, who are basically, where are they in the fucking Premier League? Are
Ooh,
they like one
Man
position or two
United,
positions above relegation?
15th or 14th or something crazy like that. But
Yeah, I think they're just above Tottenham, and Tottenham is 17th, I think, 18, 19,
but
Yeah,
hang on a
like they're
minute, guys. Hang on a minute, guys. That's the Europa League final, and the winner of the Europa League gets into the Champions League, right? And two Man United players were interviewed on Sky Sports, Mino and Garnacho, and they both said it won't be a great season if Man United win the Europa League. Are we, as Milan, a smaller club than Man United?
no,
Are
it'll be a good
we?
season if we win a smaller trophy, John, because that's apparently that's
But do you
literally the
see,
logic here. Yeah.
those players have been told, hey, you don't come out to the press and you say this will be a successful season if we win the Europa League. You will get hanged for that. Yeah, our own, ownership are coming out with comments like that. Now, I just wanted to say here, I've got some notes from the Boban interview. He said, first, Maldini's interview to the Repubblica was the absolute truth, word for word. That's what he said. So take his words on that. The core concepts are ambition, Italian identity, and Milanismo. To the point of Italian identity and Milanismo, if personally, if Milan had a squad that represented what I want to see and had players that bled for the club and tried hard for the shirt, I wouldn't actually care if Milan was even in Serie B. I would turn up every week and I would watch those games and I would go to the stadium and watch those players, even in Serie B. This is not about being in the top 8 of Serie A, top 9 of Serie A. This is about having a club that represents what I remember the club being, and it isn't today. So that's the other point. Right. So Boban says those three, ambition, Milanismo, Italian identity, are the concepts that should stand behind Milan no matter what happens going forward. And then he says, what the F does always Milan mean? Because this is a term that's constantly being said. Always the shirt, always the colours, always Milan. This ownership, he says, have actively worked to remove identity from the club to leave people that they can control. And I gotta say, spot on. I know this guy's controversial. I know this guy is apparently taking the club to court and won a court case for, I don't know what it was, unfair dismissal or whatever. But when you have legends that speak out and speak words that are so true and so pointed, what do you think about what's going on at the club? And when you said, Shane, earlier, you don't see a way out, that's my problem. That's my problem. That is why when we win games, I feel nothing anymore because I can't see a way out. I keep hanging on to these weird stories that are coming out that Maldini has found a buyer. He's over in Saudi, and Fahadinho's correcting us, saying no, that's all wrong because this guy's from Qatar. These guys are not Arabs, and I'm like, first of all, we can have a discussion about how Italians often see the Arab world. It's all one region as far as they're concerned. They don't see any difference. But these are rumors, and the thing in Italy is that they're just malicious rumors being spread by the ownership to make the traditional fans calm down. That's all it is. That's all it is. Right. I wanted to move to the next point, which was the stadium option. Guys, what do you think of the rumors that have come out over the last week that we never considered this, guys? We spoke about San Donato. We spoke about buying San Siro. None of us spoke about how about the status quo continues. And all Inter and Milan do is play games abroad whilst the stadium's being renovated by the council. We never thought of that as an option. But that option is now being shown. They're saying that for an entire month, Inter and Milan's home games will see those clubs try and play abroad. And yes, I'm sorry, the rumor is that Milan's going to go to either Australia or, of course, America to go and play their games. And they're asking for special dispensation to do that. Did you guys ever consider that as an option? Because I can tell you, it never crossed my mind that Milan would not actually look to do anything.
Now, if you were going to say, like, something feasible that made remote sense, like, I don't know, Switzerland or Germany, right? I go, okay, maybe. I don't like it, but maybe. But the thing is, dude, like Australia or US, it's not going to happen. Because the thing is then, right, it's not just Milan playing or Inter playing, right? Let's say they both choose Australia, right? Right. But the thing is like, no Serie A side is going to basically agree with, oh yeah, you want to fly our guys out to Australia, do you? Yeah, that's fine. They are the same with US. They're not going to do that. If it was a once-off game, sure, but not for a month.
I don't see the how that is so realistic. I mean, if you see how we play, even when I was in Australia, we didn't play that great. So can you imagine the fact that we have to travel all the way just to like play the way that we played last time that we were in Australia? So I don't get why that has to happen. But
every club is flown out to us. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. The way that I could see it, and I'm sure that they'll be kind enough to do it, we could probably take over Monza's stadium for the time being.
Yeah, then they won't be in Serie A, will they?
That's feasible. But the thing, So Fede, just to go back to your question, I guess your point. You guys really want to be bought by oil money? I want to be bought by fucking anyone at this point, man. Anyone,
Bravo!
anyone with money, like anyone that
We
will
want to be
actually,
bought by money. We want to be bought by money.
you
Doesn't
know,
matter where that money's from.
forget Elliot, because Elliot are part of the cancer as well, right? Forget it. I just want Elliot have to go, Redbird have to go. Just, do you know what? I'm hoping maybe the Como director or the Como owner, gets maybe hit on the head, right? And then kind of, figures out that he should have bought us instead of Como. And then he just basically buys us. And you can imagine like fucking players coming in for like 60, 70 million. Amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not enough for me, Shane. I want Redbird to buy Inter as well. If they have to sell us, I want them to go and buy Inter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go and buy Inter. Go. I didn't realize that they just won the Champions League.
That's
Oh Jesus! I really hope that PSG beat them, and I'll tell you, man. Oh my
100%,
God, man.
Nico. I'd literally take cartel dollars, right? You're fucking right, man. I would at this point.
Oh yeah. Right, Young Go. I'm gonna try and say. Is that how you say his name? I'm just gonna read you the fixtures. So Wednesday 14th, we've got Bologna, Coppa d'Italia final. Sunday 18th, we've got 2 p.m. game. It's Roma away. Then Sunday 25th of May, we've got Monza. That's our final Serie A game. Monza at home. Wednesday 23rd of July, Arsenal at 12:30. Is that one of the games in Asia? That's not in London.
No, it's in Singapore. Pardon the young go.
Yeah, they go in Singapore and
cool.
also to Hong Kong.
Great.
You're going to
And
see him,
then,
husband, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll see Yongo there.
and
in
then
Singapore.
3 days later, there's Liverpool. So Arsenal, Liverpool in Asia. Oh, okay. I won't go to London. Okay. I was gonna go. I was thinking it was at the Emirates. No, it's not. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's the season. It's gonna finish like this. Maybe at the end of the season, guys, we could do like a pod to score the players and management and say give us an overall score for the season. I think some players will come out quite decent. Some players have tried hard, I suppose. I'm really curious, Shane, on your score on Pavlovic, Muro, and your score on Musa will be legendary.
How about there's no point in even, let's do that, but there's no point in even including them, is there? Let's be honest.
Hey, oh,
There's no
nice. I
point.
like it.
There's no point.
Like it. So do you want to finish off by having a discussion on the Coppa d'Italia, guys?
Yep, sure.
Yeah.
Are we going to open the lines, by the way? Sorry, I forgot to ask this earlier.
Do it. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Open them
Alright,
up. Let's see what
guys.
happens.
Anyone would like to join us?
Got
I'm
a ton
posting
of
it.
people, man. You're right. Maybe our timing was wrong, but what can I do?
Yeah, good fucking luck getting this again, guys. It's not happening.
No, yeah, it's not happening. It's not happening. On Monday morning.
As much as we love you, no.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Coppa d'Italia final. What do you think, Shane?
I'm gonna have. It's gonna be a great night, John, because I'm meeting my vape guy who's also a Milan fan, and we're gonna go and watch it, and we're gonna get drunk as fuck. It's gonna be great. I couldn't give a fuck what happens in the match if we win or lose. I'd prefer that we lose, to be honest, because I don't want to give ownership the clout of being able to say, well, we got 2 fucking ridiculous trophies, that no one in Italy basically gives a shit about. Maybe the Supercoppa, I dare say, maybe more so. Sure, it's a nice way to cap off. If you've had a successful year before.
Yeah, but
right?
we didn't get into the Supercoppa because of a successful season before, did we? The stupid semi-final rule.
Well, we're
Everybody
living off
knows that.
Berlusconi's legacy, basically. I think that's essentially all it is. Yeah.
Okay, so Hasni, how are you looking forward to the final of the Coppa?
Yeah, I'm a bit different, and I said this before. I want it. I'm sorry, I want it. I want to win. I really want that trophy. All ownership aside, I want something to look forward to, because if I'm going to go Singapore and I see Yongo there, I want to be in a better mood than I am now. If we were to lose, we're going to get a lot of flack, a lot more BS than what we've probably gotten. So I just need a plus. Any positive from this club will do at this moment.
Yeah. Yongo, to give your answer to your question, winning the Coppa d'Italia means we qualify for the Europa League. That's the prize. That
And
comes
we
with it.
become the best team in Italy.
Oh, well, it will be said by a lot of people. Oh my
Hi,
God!
Max.
No
Is that
way!
Max in the
What
suit?
the hell, bro?
I
No,
wasn't
no.
there, man.
Santi
Hello, mate.
Jimenez has
I-
joined us.
I can't be long because I'm technically on a break at work and I've been listening to you. But yes, Santo Milanismo is here for you guys.
Santi
In a
Jimenez, how
suit.
you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you all?
Good.
Yeah,
I think
We're
we're going
good,
to
we're
be
good.
do
using
this.
Max in future for, like thumbnails poking at Santi Jimenez.
Oh,
I didn't
mate,
realize how much the likeness was, especially in the suit.
I told you you look like Santi Jimenez, man. I told you.
Spitting image,
He needs to stand in front of a mirror and do a selfie like Duckface.
That's it.
That'll be done.
Or in lift?
In a lift, that's right. Go stand in a lift. So, how are you
Yeah, no
looking forward
problem,
to
man.
Wednesday, Max? What are you going to be doing, man?
I can't sleep, mate. I cannot sleep at night. I'm rolling around in bed full of excitement, ready to watch the game. The Coppa Italia is everything right now for me. I cannot wait.
Amazing.
Cannot
I love
wait.
it. I love it. This guy's definitely not made of plastic. You can tell. Hint, hint.
No. Absolutely not. Because if you are conflicted at all by the Coppa Italia game, you're plastic. But if you want them to win, so you can listen to Forlani and Co. talk about what a successful season it's been, then you're not plastic. That's kind of what I've ascertained in the last couple of weeks. It's very convenient. Can we say that? It's Milanismo in 2025 is a convenience-based thing. 20 plus years or 30 plus years of supporting the club. As long as you say once you're not quite sure, you've lost it. You don't support.
Remember, we haven't won the
That's
Serie
kind of where
B
I am with this one.
either.
Yeah.
So, I mean, right?
Well, look, I can't wait for the Coppa Italia final. I'm hoping for an absolute 5-0 smashing. I'm hoping Calabria takes the ball on your shirt off, puts the Milan one on, jumps across and lifts it for us for one more time. Because his Milanismo is bigger than
Fair.
anybody's. Because there was a picture of him looking at the Milan fans on Sunday, so therefore, or Monday, whatever it was. So therefore, that's what we're here for. So Forza Milan, Forza Milanismo, Forza Red Bird.
Forza
That's what we're here
MLM,
for.
Forza MLM. Nice one, mate.
Yeah, I'm corporate
Corporate
Max today
Max
for
today,
Hedino.
mate.
You're right, I'm corporate.
Mate, if you need a funeral director, you've got him right there. Look at him. Yeah,
Funeral? I'm in Navy, thank you very much.
he's ready.
This is because I have a real job, people. I'm not one of these people on X who doesn't work and pretends to be a professional.
Oh my God,
Sorry.
no. Max, what'd you do that for? I'm clipping that.
Sorry, fucking hell.
Gino's
Apologies.
not even here and you've done it.
I've just come on and taken over. Apologies.
Gino's not even here. You've put your own foot in it this time.
Oh, yeah, I'm up for
Awesome.
it. I'm well up for
right,
it.
so my point of view, right, listen, guys, on the final, I understand wanted to win a trophy. 100% understand it. The problem I have with that is obvious. We win. You know who takes credit for it. You know who's going to run it. You know who's going to say, we made the right decision not to go for a DS. We made the right decision. Everything, we're going to keep Conte Sal for another season. We're going to continue everything going. Maybe we don't need to buy any players. That's the main concern I have. You can really understand both sides, both points of view, and there's no winner here. This is the biggest problem. There's literally no winner here. It's as if the fan base is split into two sides, and one is saying, I want disaster because I want to try and force these people out. I think those of us that have been there, lived enough of a life, will say, I don't think these people are going to go just because of that. these people are not going that easily. They need to find a buyer because they won't sell unless they break even or make some profit. And that's a huge problem for us, right? My entire season will be rescued for only one thing. The club is sold. 51% of shares are sold to, oh, please God, someone that Maldini has found. My season is completely turned around and I won't give a shit about it. And I'll forget everything this season, honestly. But if we say, Furlani says, we've won another Coppa, that means Conceição is just as successful as Ancelotti. We don't need a DS. We don't need to buy players. And by the way, the rumor are that Chelsea is sniffing around Leao, and the price that Milan has put on him is 65 million. What did Furlani say? I did not need to sell Tonali. The opportunity came up, and I had to take it. We don't need a summer like that, and that's the problem for me. If that's like
We're gonna get that, Roger. The only way that we're getting any players this year, if our budget last year was 50 million, what was our budget in the end?
don't know.
I think it's about
Know?
30. I think something like that. We were hovering around the 30 range.
30 million. So
30 plus, yeah.
if we have a budget of 30, right, and that's with Champions League qualification. If we have, if we have only 27 million coming in this year from, qualifications and all this jazz, someone has to get sold. Oh, and by the way, let's say Leao goes for 75 million, right? That's half of that 75 million to be put back into the squad because the other half is going off to pay Jerry's loan. So, it is what it is. Like we're completely fucked. Like my big
the
concern.
chat is wild. I'm loving
It's the time of day, John.
Jesus
we
Christ!
really hit it on the head.
My God! Hey Max, watch this episode, mate. This is what you want.
So because my big requirement was like a sporting director, right? But honestly, at this point, I don't even think that's feasible. Do you know?
Yeah.
Like a competent sporting director, man. I think more than likely now it's like these guys have to go because I
didn't think Moncada was a real choice. I thought it was a joke, and now I'm thinking he might actually be a real choice for these.
No, he's perfect. He's perfect too because he's a yes man as well. Because what Furlan is indirectly saying is when he's going through all of these sporting directors, first of all, we won't get a serious one because a serious one wouldn't come to a project where you have two filters and two owners of the same club that you need to run shit through. A real sporting director is not going to need to take that, right? So the thing is we'll get a half-arsed one like Iglitare if we're lucky. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Shane, can I just add that? The why we need a sporting director, from my perspective, is that there's a potential mess going to happen in this Mercato. Not only are there going to be bids made, maybe Leao might be one of them. I'm concerned is that they might offload someone with actual value like Pulisic. Then that's the only real decent player that I think would be consistent for us. And to top it all off, we have a flood of players coming back from loan. Salmakers, I don't know what's happening with him. We're going to have to need someone competent to actually deal with these guys that are coming back, might not have places. If not, they're going to be taking up our bench or, we're just going to be rotting with them.
Yeah.
So just a quick one. So I'm supposed to say, right, Sriracha Ketchup. So it was the username that caught me.
You're going to read that message out?
I'm supposed. Well, he's asked me to.
Oh my God.
Tell the audience that Floki and Andan have officially quit football and Millhead, left all chats and blocked. The Redbird dick suck is finally caught up to them. Okay, all right. I don't feel
Max,
any
why
better
did you say that? Max, why?
Forza Redbird.
Forza Redbird indeed. Yeah. Man, absolutely mental.
Forza Redbird.
Absolutely mental, mate.
Right, I've got to go, Jen.
Yeah, Max, thanks for calling in.
Thanks for calling in.
Bye.
See ya.
Forza Milan, Forza Redbird, Forza Milan is more.
Forza Como,
Come on. 5-0.
Okay, he's coming
Right,
on. Oh man, that's good. Just trying to think here. Just trying to think of the rumors that I've heard lately. Yeah, I mean, reindeer going to City, that would make sense actually. Leao being sold, that's another one. Pulisic is high value as well. Players not renewing. Manyan and Theo, they're not renewing
Yeah,
because of their own reasons. They're not renewing because the club is not talking to them.
Kim's trying to. Hosni, do I have host rights?
Oh, hi, Kim. Sorry, yeah.
Oh, what's going on, guys?
Sorry, I missed
Right,
your
Kim, how are
message.
you,
Yeah.
man? You alright?
Yeah, not bad. Just been listening.
Kim, you're not wearing a suit for us. Come on, man.
Nah, sorry.
It's
Nah, I was
mandatory,
been
man.
listening. I don't know what's wrong with the internet or if it's you guys. It's just been lagging a little bit, but it's all good now.
Excellent.
Oh,
So, what's your view on the copper, mate? Come on.
look, I'm gonna be honest. Not a lot of people are gonna like it, but I hope we get spanked.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'll tell you, all right. If this was a few years ago, under different management, ownership, I would have taken the day off work to watch it. I would have been excited for it, been like, oh fuck yeah, let's go for this. It's been a long time. But now it's just like I don't care too much. I hope we lose because simply this ownership and management, especially Jerry, they don't deserve it at all. So just for that reason, which it's very sad. It's very sad to say it just because of that, but yeah. And for the players especially, it's sad
See,
because
Kim,
they're putting
you know, right?
shit.
If they win it, right, fast forward 2 months, you'll get some bullshit limited edition T-shirt that cost 10 cents to make, being sold for like $100. You know.
Mm.
Yeah,
we
and
Then
somebody
all
will
the,
buy it. Somebody will buy all of them.
then all the 50 million fans in America are gonna all
US,
buy it. And
that's it.
fuck
Well,
yeah.
Hasni will dress the whole of Malaysia with him as well.
But I
Yeah.
just want to. Well, I think this is important, guys, as well. I'm saying this more for a mental sanity check as well. Outside of some of the bullshit that the pods that happen to be based in the US are coming out with, I don't think we should ever purposely alienate ourselves from the US fans because there is a lot of them out there that are probably feeling the same pain. It just is important we don't lump them in with the fucking psychopaths on some of the other pods. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, again, on our WhatsApp group, we've got some really, we've got some Americans.
And
There's
we
no
have
question.
Nico as well.
And
do you know what I mean? So it's like I just want to make
Yeah.
sure that we're not doing.
they're
that.
knowledgeable. They are really passionate. They love the club, right? It's not. This is what we keep saying. It isn't the country per se. But I will tell you one thing, and I don't care. This is a little bit controversial. In Italy, they won't hesitate to turn it a little bit racist and turn it against Americans
Yeah.
overall. They will do that. Okay, it's just how things are wired over there. Okay, because these guys have come in, they've destroyed everything, and so they're looking for someone to blame. And it might turn out that they'll just turn against the entire fan base, the entire nation as one. We don't. We've said it from day one. Listen, we're judging you by the words you're saying. You're turning around. You're saying things that are completely unacceptable. You're saying to us that if you don't back this club, if you don't back these results, then you don't belong as a Milan fan. Well, we tell you, go F yourself, because we are traditional fans. We understand where the club needs to be, and it isn't there, and it's not a reflection of us. And we will not stop until the club becomes a reflection of us again. Also, what happens if in the future Maldini does come back with a consortium and takes the club back? Do those people suddenly go, I didn't say that.
Of course, they'd be
I
all
didn't
over
say
him then.
anything.
Yeah, because bullshit has a short memory and they forget all the shit that they said, you see. That's the thing. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
If
I remember
ultimately,
they were the same people that, when he got fired, they were like, oh, but he made all these mistakes and all that. They would pick out his mistakes, so that's what I
yeah,
remember.
they would, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And the thing is anyone, it's completely okay, right? Because, picking at someone's mistakes is the right thing to do. not in this context, but pick it because you know it can never be just said that someone always only did the right thing, right? Because then it's you know it's biased then, right? And that's bullshit. But the thing is you know, the trajectory, right, was good. The trajectory was good when he was here, right? There was a couple of drop-offs.
Yes.
There was ambition and there was balls.
Yeah.
And ever since all of that has died. And
there
the thing
was
is
Milanismo, there was ambition. Two of the prerequisites, right? Yeah. And no one could take that away from us, except they did. I hope more legends come out, and I hope they speak frankly like Boban did. Apparently, there's part 2 of this interview somewhere, which I'm waiting to hear. So watch out for Andrea Longoni's channel. But yeah, honestly, guys, Kim, I completely understand you, bro. Completely understand you. I'm not particularly bothered. I'm watching it because it's Milan. Yeah. I'm watching it, but I know the downsides of what happens if we win it. But I also, honestly, I'll be honest, I think if we lose it, they still will say, look, we made another cup final. Look, we did this. We did this. We don't need a DS.
Positive
I couldn't
spin,
believe Forlani saying that.
Positive
spin. It's garbage. I can't back it, mate. I can't back any of this, and I'm not going to stop saying it either. Right? Okay.
I think
we need to tie it up.
Kim, I'm so sorry, dude. I think we need to wrap up because Huzzy needs to jam. I'm so sorry. I know it was a long time.
Yeah, sorry, Kim.
Call it, man.
You're right.
Okay, well, thanks to everyone. We have a long list of people I want to thank. It's great. I do want to thank our fellow Juventini. We never had the Juventini before, I think. So Fede Chiesa, thanks Carlo, Ricardas, Gunardi, Yongo, my Malaysian brother, Matt,
Vasil,
Nico.
It was a lot.
Vasil, yeah, there's plenty. I'm sorry if I miss you out. There's so many today, and so proud, and maybe in future you can think of maybe alternating the time.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Pleasure talking to you. It was really, really good to talk to you all.
All right, Forza Milan. Goodbye, everyone.
Forza Milanismo. Milanismo. Ciao.
Milanismo.
Che comunque il calcio è imprevedibile e le cose non sono mai scontate, quindi è anche la bellezza, no, di questo sport.
Io rappresentavo per questa squadra, era quello che non mollava mai, quello che doveva fare stare sempre su il morale, ma io mi ci trovavo bene perché sono sempre stato uno che mi piaceva dare fuoco ai miei compagni, incaricarli prima delle partite.
Il mio sogno di Saverato è uno dei sogni dei bambini, di tanti bambini.
È un qualcosa per la gente che riusciamo a fare diventare matti, riusciamo a fare diventare felici.